Yesterday, I woke up with a picture of something in my mind that was pretty disturbing and bordering on terrifying. And it might surprise you what it was. It was a jug of water. What bothered me about it was I pictured this jug of water when it was full, representing my life. And then the part that scared me was I pictured at the bottom of the jug a tiny, tiny pinhole with just a drop at a time coming out. And if there was more than one pinhole, now the water's draining out twice as fast. Yes, it could represent my life. And that picture I had yesterday morning, it did. All the moments, all the memories, all the opportunities, all the friendships, all the family members, everything, it was right there in one place. And if I don't pay attention to those teeny tiny leaks that might be draining away my life ever so slowly without my even noticing, I could wake up one day, that jug could be empty and my life could be over. So I started thinking about ways I could plug those leaks. And it actually, ironically, 2 weeks ago, my car was in the shop. I had the work done. I picked up the car. I went for a drive, went into a store, came back out, and here's a tiny little spot, a wet spot on the ground underneath the front of the car. And it turns out it was engine coolant. So I took the car back into the shop. They looked it over. There was a clamp that was a little loose. But more than that, there was a leak in the radiator. It was a very small leak. So there wasn't a lot of coolant leaking out, but there was a little. And when I thought about it, and I compared it to that jug of water, it's very, very similar. If I don't plug the leak in that radiator or replace the radiator, in this case, that coolant could all leak out and my car engine could overheat and that engine would fail. It would be over. So what are some of those leaks in my own life, and probably in yours, that need to be plugged so that my life isn't just draining away without my even noticing? Things like scrolling on social media, things like worrying about things that may or may not even happen, things like staying in a relationship that just sucks the life out of you, things like spending time around people that either they don't build you up or they actually tear you down. As I continue to process through this thought exercise, I realized it wasn't a matter of guilt or shame or, hey, you should be more productive. For me, it was more like awareness. There are things in my life that are draining away my life, either without my noticing or even worse, with my noticing, and I still have not done anything to stop the leak. Step one is recognize the leaks. Step two is decide to do something about it. Stop the leaks. If it's a job you've been in for a long time and you just hate it and it's just sucking the life out of you, come up with something different to do. So the question I ask myself is, where is my life leaking? And instead of trying to look at all of the leaks in my life, I said, you know what? I need to narrow it down to just one. And how do I do that? Maybe it's, if it's the scrolling example, maybe it's make a commitment to spend 30 minutes a day or an hour a day without my phone. Last week, I actually deleted Instagram from my phone because I caught myself from time to time scrolling through Instagram. And the only reason I put Instagram on my phone in the beginning was because my kids, who no longer live at home, they would post occasionally, and it was kind of fun to keep up with what they're doing. But it's probably better just to call them or go see them rather than going to Instagram to see how my kids are doing, and then you end up spending 30 minutes scrolling. That's a waste. That's a leak that needs to be plugged. And another thing you could do to plug that leak is just rest. Learn how to rest. Turn everything off and just rest. Maybe you sit, maybe you read a book, maybe you go outside and you just walk. If you can get in a park or somewhere where there's nature around you, just walk. Enjoy a sunset. Enjoy a sunrise. Look around at the fall colors. And just soak that in. That is life-giving. Another thing that I know for me that helps, and I resist it, day after day I resist it, but that's exercise, just moving. Again, going for a walk, or maybe for you it's going into the gym and lifting weights or doing some kind of exercise, but movement, some kind of movement can be life-giving. So what are some other ways that you can actually refill the jug? Well, one of them is to stay curious and almost childlike curiosity. If there's something you want to learn how to do, go learn how to do it. If you want to learn to play the guitar, or in my case, you want to learn to juggle or ride a unicycle or whatever, just do it. That curiosity, that learning something new, that is life-giving. And don't let it be frustrating. If you're trying something new and it's hard, just recognize that that's a good thing, because it challenges you. It challenges your mind. Maybe it challenges your assumptions if it's a new topic that you're trying to learn. And that's the whole idea behind this channel and my unfinished life. And one of the things that I'm doing as part of this is the 61st challenge, and that's challenging myself to try new things. Well, trying those new things, those are life-giving things. Those are things that can refill that jug, that can add value and can actually add more to your life. So go try something new. Another thing you can do to refill that jug is to start creating instead of consuming. If all we do as humans is we sit in front of the TV and we watch other people entertaining us, or back to the phone example, we scroll and we consume something that someone else produces, those things take from us. Those things drain the life out of us. But if we start creating something, maybe we sit down in the morning and we write in a journal. And you know, journaling is just a way of saying, write your thoughts, process your thoughts in writing. Those kinds of things, writing and creating something that didn't exist before, that's life-giving. Those are things that actually refill the jug. So why am I sharing this? It's because I recognized, with that picture in my mind when I woke up, of that jug of water slowly leaking out, that I had not one but many leaks in my own life, and I needed to start plugging those leaks. And in addition to that, after thinking this through, recognizing that there are ways I can add more water back into the jug. I can actually refill the jug by doing things that give life rather than take life. I don't want to spend another 10 years of my life and just wake up 10 years later and realize I just lost a decade. I don't even know where it went. So this channel, this project, My Unfinished Life, it's just a way for me to be a little more focused on living my life on purpose. Not perfectly, just awake and aware of my own life and how I can make it better, and hopefully how I can share my own experiences in a way that will be helpful to you. So here's the question for you and for me. Where is your leak? Just pick one and maybe try to plug that one this week. And if you feel like sharing, drop a comment below and I'll share one of mine as well. Thanks for watching, and I'm really glad you're along for the ride. I'll see you in the next video.